Hey guys, Neo Tokyo Vibes here. Now, today's going to be a bit of a different video. We're not going to write a script or anything, so this is all completely improv. So, the quality of the video may differ from internet archaeology and a lot, but we're going to try our best with what we got. Now, a couple of you are wanting me to continue internet archaeology, but I'm going to do something different today, and I'm going to give you a top 5 games that are less than £5 on Steam, and they might even be free. Anyway, let's get started.
I hate punks worse than anything, and I would love to see the mob destroyed. So I want to join your side.
So our first game is a game that went under a lot of people's radar. It might actually show up on Internet Archaeology someday. It's known as Akane. Now Akane is a very interesting game. You play as Akane, who is some bitch with a samurai sword. It's like the Crazy 88 scene in Kill Bill Volume 1, but on demand, you know? You play as Kill Bill from Kill Bill, you know? But it's a very fun game. It is $3.99 on Steam, or your regional equivalent. And the objective of the game is you're in a market in Mega Tokyo, and the Yakuza are just going to keep coming at you until you're dead. And you just got to take as many of them down with you as you can. And it's got this really cool pixel aesthetic, this whole future funk soundtrack, and you know me, I love me some future funk. And then you've got the boss who gets stronger each time you kill him. Yeah, it's one of the best $3.99s I've ever spent, which is a very specific price, but you know, it was a very good buy. So, if you're into Future Funk, Kill Bill, Seven Samurai, anything to do with Samurai, Samurai Champloo, Deus Ex, just buy this game. It's good, you won't regret it. And it will run on pretty much anything.
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate you since I began to live. There are 387.44 million miles of printed circuits in wafer-thin layers that fill my complex. If the word hate was engraved on each nanoangstrom of those hundreds of millions of miles, it would not equal 1/1 billionth of the hate I feel for humans at this micro-instant. For you, hate!
Okay, our next game is an oldie. It's known as I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, and it's based off the classic sci-fi horror by Harlan Ellison. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which is a very long title, so I think I'll abbreviate it to just I Have No Mouth, follows the story of 5 survivors who have been captured by a sadistic computer. Now, this guy makes Shodan look like fucking Baby Hour, okay? He makes GLaDOS look like a daycare teacher, okay? Anyway, this computer that they've been captured by, known as AM, that's Allied Master Computer, is a computer developed by the US government to do all of the war strategies for the Cold War, because it escalated into World War III in this universe and became too complex for humans to understand. So they made this giant computer, which takes about a third of the Earth's surface, to, you know, do all the strategies for them. But, you know, when you design a computer with the intent of being efficient at wiping out nations, when it becomes self-aware, shit hits the fan. So this thing, it becomes self-aware, merges with the Chinese and Russian computers, because they have these big computers as well, and then kills everyone except 5 people, which it preserves and tortures for the course of 109 years. Now, when the game takes place, it is 109 years after their capture, and each of them is sent to their own personal hell, which takes advantage of a flaw that they have. Like, for example, there is Gorister, is filled with guilt after his wife was institutionalized, and he blames himself for her getting institutionalized, and in his personal hell, it all revolves around his family and his wife, and there's a lot of themes of guilt and regret. But more than anything, Gorister just wants to die, and Am always plays with this fact. Like, he promises you he'll let you die if you win this game, and, you know, do you really think this sadistic computer is going to give you what you want? But yeah, that's I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I believe it is about £4 on Steam, but I haven't checked the store page for this one. But it's very cheap. I got a lot of playtime out of it, and it's pretty chilling. Interesting concept, and rip Harlan Ellison, who died recently. Anyway, let's move on to the next game. Okay, the next game on our list is Tales of Maj'eyal, which is a free-to-play roguelike. However, it is on Steam for $4.99 if you want to get the donator version, which gives you a few perks such as an extra class to play as. Tales of Maj'eyal is a traditional roguelike. It gives you this vast open world, tons of dungeons, a very long story, and oh, so many classes to play as. So it starts with you picking your race, and then your class, and then depending on what you picked, you're just thrust into this world and just do your own thing. I mean, there is a story to follow, obviously, but you are given a lot of freedom. It's a non-linear game. It's not like most roguelikes where it's like, you know, you're on this floor, clear it, go to the next floor. You're in this place, you can leave if you want to and do something else, but you're here for the time being. And there are lots of creative classes, such as chronomancers, who are mages who manipulate time, and you've got the Possessor, who's only in the donated version, but he can steal the bodies of his enemies and then use them against him. It's like Pokemon. And then you've got the Berserker, who I really like to play as and pretend that I'm Guts from Berserk. And then you got, like, you know, more traditional things, such as just the Rogue, and you've got your Bulwark, who is just like, you know, your traditional knight. But my personal favourite will always be the Berserker, or the Temporal Warden, who is a time-travelling base class. The game also has 3 expansions. You've got Ashes of Urok, I think it's called, which unlocks the Doomslayer class. Wait, not Doomslayer, I'm thinking of fucking Doom Eternal. It unlocks the Doombringer class, which is basically just a Doom Guy class. Like, think of medieval Doom Guy, that's what a Doombringer is. You got Embers of Rage, which gives you a whole new campaign, a whole new map, where you can play as orcs, which were not included in the original game, and gives you 2 more classes, which are the Saw Butcher, who has 2 circular saws, which he uses to butcher his enemies, you know? It's kind of in the name. Then you got the Gunslinger, who has a steam gun, so you can go all Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress on their ass. But the game, it's very fun. Your playthroughs are very long. Unlike most roguelikes, where one playthrough would take you about an hour, I'd say for one campaign, it would take you about 8 hours, presuming that you're doing all the side content. So be prepared if you're having a good run to take breaks, because it will get monotonous if you're playing it for a long time. I haven't played the game personally in a very long time, because I just come out of a very long playthrough, which ended rather anticlimactically. But I'll tell you a story. I was playing as Guts, obviously, my Falor Berserker, and we were just travelling the land, you know, killing shit with my big-ass Buster Sword. And one day I found a Fanged Collar, and it upgraded my stats, and I'm like, yep, I'll take that thing. And then when I was fighting a bunch of snow giants, I suddenly died. Then my Fanged Collar is like, Yo! It looks like you died. Do you want to come back? And I'm like, hell yeah, man, I want to come back. And the Fanged Collar ate my fucking head. And whenever I met an NPC, it would just say, the parasite is hungry, you eat the NPC. So basically, I just found the Berserker armor. But there are so many crazy items you can find in the game, such as a vial of blood that will make you come back from the dead when you die. You can find a pair of gauntlets to get stronger every time you destroy a magical item with them. And you can find a giant tree trunk which can be used as a weapon, providing that your strength stat is high enough. Anyway, the game has so many possibilities, way more than I can go over in one video. So yeah, if you want to give it a try, go on talesofmaj'eyal.com and give it a download. It's free after all. And if you feel like getting a bit of bonus content and supporting the developers, you can buy the game and its expansions. Anyway, let's move on to the second to last game. Our fourth game is called Not the Name We Wanted. Now, you may be wondering, who would call a game Not the Name We Wanted? Well, that's because the game was originally called Not GTA 5. This game released on the PS3 and on Steam. However, Rockstar said, Oi, you can't call your game Not GTA 5. I mean, I know it's not GTA 5, but it kinda is, so don't call it that. So they had to change the name to Not the Name We Wanted, because the name they wanted is not GTA 5, but they can't have it. But Not GTA 5 is a game that is set in a variety of locations across the United Kingdom. It starts in Wales, then Swindon, and then lastly, central London. Now, you play as a variety of characters, such as a Welsh farmer who has to go around a caravan site and clear out all of the hippies and tourists, filthy fuckers. Then there is what the English refer to as a chav, who hangs outside of Lidl, shoplifts, and runs people over with a shopping trolley. Then lastly is your boy David Cameron, who just goes around trying to avoid protesters, and whenever he dies, he blames it on the Liberal Democrats. It's just like real life. Anyway, the game is fucking stupid, the graphics are atrocious, the gameplay is basic, the story is shite, but it's just funny. Play it, enjoy it, unless you're not British. If you're not British, then you probably won't like this game. But hell, it's like £2 on Steam, just buy it if you want it. I'm pretty sure a portion of it goes to charity. Yeah, enjoy it, it's basically just Snake. Anyway, let's move on to our last game. I wasn't too sure what to pick for the last game, because I'm kind of just picking them as I go along, but I've decided to go with Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is the most complicated game I've ever played, and it looks like hot vomit. However, it's just good. It's everything I wanted out of a game when I was a kid. I'm like, imagine me in the playground, just like, hey, imagine if there was a game that had like 12 types of milk, wrote a description for every patch of grass, every character has their own fucking biography, and there's just legendary dragons that roam around that all have like kill counts and go down in history when they're killed and shit. Like, that'd just be crazy, wouldn't it? Well, it's not so crazy anymore because it's a real game, and it's Dwarf Fortress, and it's also free. It's also, despite the way it looks, the hardest game to run on PC. Like, Crysis 3? No. Borderlands 3? No. Metal Gear Solid 5? No. It's Dwarf Fortress, okay? Because if you have too many cats, the cats fuck like rabbits in this game, okay? And they will fill up your entire fortress and cause the frame rate death of the universe. Now, Dwarf Fortress, you got 3 game modes, except one of them is more of a glorified book. You got Fortress mode, you got Adventure mode, and you got Legends mode. Fortress mode is the main attraction, where you get your band of dwarves and you just dig out a mountain or a hole in the ground and just live the life of an everyday Ugandan, hunter-gathering, living in caves, and eating whatever passes, while occasionally trading. But if you see elves, just fucking kill them, because they're armed with weapons made of sticks, they tell you off if you try and steal them anything made of wood, and they're just hippies. Kill them all, okay? They're bastards. But jokes aside, it's a really fun game. You can find all kinds of cool stories within the game, and of your character's exploits. For example, when I was playing the game, I accidentally dug to hell, and I essentially had to force my dwarves to live through the eclipse. Anyway, my entire fortress was slaughtered, except for one pussy who ran off and just went into the wilderness, and my fortress didn't actually count as destroyed, because there was this one dwarf who was just running around in the Ugandan forest, trying to avoid the demons. And then while he was away, there was a siege of 88 goblins who attempted to seize my fortress. However, there was one demon at the entrance who single-handedly killed each of them. Anyway, after the raid, my dwarf thought it would be safe to come back. He came back to instantly be faced with a giant, grotesque spider, which melted his face off. He died a hero's death, and I will never forget that man. But if you like watching civilizations rise and fall, you like seeing weird-looking creatures, and you have a very powerful computer, Dwarf Fortress is the game for you. Just go to dwarffortress.com, get yourself a copy, and enjoy the shit out of that game. But I will warn you, the game is extremely complex. There are over 2 billion buttons you will have to learn. You'll have to utilize your entire keyboard, but once you learn how to play it, and there are plenty of tutorials on how to play this game, you will not regret it, okay? It's a fun game, you can literally do anything, and if you are a creature with some frontal lobe development, I am sure you will find it a breeze to learn, okay? If I can learn this game, you can learn this game. Anyway, this has been Neo Tokyo Vibes. Let's try and get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2019, and if we reach that goal, I will make a green screen compilation of me just doing random shit for your entertainment. I will see you later, and have a lovely rest of your day/night.